Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing great. I'm excited for my post today. My topic of the week is motivation and success. And I thought something that would be really cool is to go over the qualities that most successful people have and the habits that they practice versus those of unsuccessful people. Firstly, I wanted to go over certain things that those that are usually unsuccessful practice and qualities that they may possess. First on my list is rejection of change and rejection of anything that is new. The reason being is because they focus their attention on what may go wrong rather than focusing their attention on what may go right. And in that, they miss a lot of opportunities and a lot of new changes that may be incredible for their life. On my list is that they refuse to apologize. What this means is that they refuse to take responsibility and ownership of their faults and their mistakes and things. And unfortunately, what this does is that it keeps them from learning a lesson, because every time we admit a failure or we admit a flaw, we get to learn a cool new lesson that will help us continue pushing and moving forward. And so the lesson here is to take ownership of our mistakes and to admit our flaws and be okay with failure, and instead learn a lesson and keep pushing forward in life. Third on my list is to see the negative in everything. Even when things are going positive, those that are unhappy or unsuccessful will sadly see the negativity in things rather than the positivity in things. And this is a shame, because it is a beautiful thing to notice the positive things in life, and that is what will keep us moving forward and improving more and more. So this is one of the major ones. And the last on my list for behaviors of unsuccessful people is not being able to divide time in a well-organized manner and not being able to focus attention on one task at a time, and getting distracted easily. So a lot of distraction time, a lot of all over the place kind of behavior. And this is something that really gets the best of us and keeps us from achieving our goals. It is now time to talk about successful people and their qualities, which is really what I want to focus on, because it's always good to hear the positives and learn from those rather than focus on the negatives in life. So one of the first qualities I would like to talk about is that successful people are always trying to improve, and they are the first to admit their flaw or their failure. By admitting what mistakes they've made and by being okay with failures and accepting failures are part of life, is they learn lessons, and through that they are able to apply those lessons to the next time that they may need that lesson, and that's how they keep growing and pushing forward. It means that they are also very welcoming towards change, and they like to experience new things and learn new things, and they are okay with the idea of possible failure while something is new and they haven't tapped into before. So this is something that they welcome into their lives, regardless of the positive or negative effects it may have in the future. The quality of those that are successful is that they know themselves really, really well. They have spent a lot of time understanding their weaknesses and their strengths. They are able to focus on their strengths and keep improving those, and they are able to figure out a way to deal with their weaknesses. So they are very self-aware. They know themselves very well. They're also very good at taking ownership of what mistakes they've made, and they do not need to blame other people for it, because they understand that this is all part of their journey, and that taking ownership and responsibility is one of the first steps in success. Are also extremely goal-oriented. They are very good with short-term goals versus long-term goals. They have specific goals that are written down, and they have a timeline for each of these goals. Also, they put realistic goals for themselves, because once we put unrealistic goals for ourselves, we may fail, and that may keep us from continuing to place goals and have something in mind that we want to reach. So it's really important to have specific, realistic goals that have a timeline. They value their time. They understand that there's 24 hours in a day, and that they need to have a very clear and organized way of going about their calendar. They will take self-care time for themselves. They know when to rest. They know when to party. They know when to work. And everything is always on a consistent schedule going forward with their goals in mind. And they say no often, because if you were to say yes to everything, you would be losing a lot of valuable time. So they say no, and they are completely at ease and okay with it because they understand that they can't possibly say yes to everything. And remember, every time we say yes to something, we are losing time and opportunity for something else. So it's really important to have a good balance. Also very good at surrounding themselves with like-minded, successful people who are not naysayers. Often we have people around us that are constantly telling us, no, don't do this, no, don't do that. And this is all coming from limiting beliefs, and it is something that will hold us back. So if we're constantly being told don't, no, this is all going into our subconscious, and whether we want to admit it or not, we are hesitant to take the next step. And so this is something that will naturally keep us back. Whereas if we have successful people around us that are motivating us, that are inspiring to us, and that tell us to keep pushing forward, and that they are leading by their actions and their success, we are much more likely to succeed as well. So this is a really important part of this. Guys, last but not least on my list is avoiding comparisons. Those that are successful do not compare themselves with others around them. The reason is, if you're comparing your journey with someone else, chances are you will feel disappointed. Once you feel disappointed and you feel you're so far off from what this other person has or what they have accomplished in life, is that you are less likely to continue pushing forward because you think it's just such a far-fetched journey for you. And so it's really important for us to understand that each of us are on our own journey. We each have our own time for success, and it's important to allow other people to shine without comparing ourselves to them. So there's a really fine line between being inspired and learning, but comparing. So don't compare, and learn and get inspired. It's really, really important. Hope you guys found this helpful. Thank you so much for listening to me, and see you soon again next week. Thank you.